What's up guys, and welcome back to the ultimate guide to Dark Souls 3. This will be part 17 where we're going through Archdragon Peak. This is going to be a bit of a doubler. We're taking on both bosses today.
Yeah, so just speeding up this bit, you need to go to Rifle Dungeon, and so presumably you've already done this part.
Yeah, you're going down to where Lightning Blade was. Use the dragon gesture that you get after you beat Osiris and go through the little section behind him.
Yeah, this is something I don't like about this area. You need to go to an optional area to go to the other optional area. It really should be you can just kind of go... Anyway, aside from that, right, we're in Archdragon Peak now, and we're just moving on. There's some items here before you kind of get into the meat and potatoes of the actual area.
Oh, you probably want to put on a shield that has good fire resistance, because these are the new man serpent men. They spit fireballs at you, and they do a decent chunk of damage actually. Even at our level, they still do a decent chunk of damage. Yeah. So we've got the dragon shield on just to give us a little bit more safety.
Now this area harbours arguably the hardest boss of the game.
One of them.
Yeah.
Only because stage 1 is just an Estus sponge.
However, we'll get to more details on the boss when we actually fight it, because there's a long period of time we actually talk about it. We'll just do the area.
Yeah, the boss is literally going to be last on the agenda.
Yeah. So just a few items are floating about around here. There's also a shortcut to the right there, but you get that way later on in the area. And the shortcut's completely useless. You will never ever use it.
I know. It's fucking pointless.
So these guys are actually right. Be careful.
There's quite a lot of them here.
Yeah.
There's like 5 of them here. So.
But out of all the enemies in the game, right, the last 2 areas,
they're gonna parry you if they stand like that. By the way, if they hold their daggers in that like sort of stance, they're gonna parry you if you R1. So use an unparryable attack.
Yeah.
Or just wait.
Just kick them.
Don't kick them because you might R1 and then you're getting parried.
Oh yeah.
Because you know how reliable kicking is. But these guys will deflect off your shield, which is really good because then you can get the counter hit in.
Yeah. I was going to say something. Yeah, so the amount of damage you actually do to these guys is this area along with Lothric. Along with Lothric Castle, the damage of the Storage Sword starts to drop off a little, but you're still doing decent DPS, so it's still very doable with this weapon.
Yeah. But clearing up the last of these little man serpent men.
There's also an item there, don't worry, we didn't forget.
Yeah, we're gonna grab it. I think it's a chunk, right?
Don't know why these 2 guys give you so much issues.
Because fuck me.
Aye.
Fick meek, as the Germans would say.
I think I would say that.
Yeah, it is. Fick meek is German for fuck me.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow,
yeah, because Mutterficker is motherfucker.
Okay.
So, fick meek.
Anyway, right, so getting the bonfire, getting the ember, and the boss is very, very close to here. Now remember, just what I mentioned, if you are coming here from Orbeck's quest, you can do this boss first, buying all of Orbeck's spells, then you can do this boss now, and then go back to...
the Twin Princes.
Yeah.
Yeah. This area is actually pretty good for chunks. There's a dragon in this area that drops 6 of them.
Yeah.
And it's actually really fucking easy to kill. Like, practically, like, the thing isn't even a threat, it's just way bigger than it looks, and there's only like 2 attacks that can actually hit you with if you stand under its face. So.
I think it looks bigger than... No, it's... Yeah, it looks bigger than it is.
No.
It's bigger than it looks. That doesn't make sense.
I don't know.
Anyway,
the point is, it's not as lethal as it looks, alright? It's just a big thing that you need to kill.
So I think we picked up the Archdragon shield, which is a great shield, which...
a homage to demons.
It has and it's basically the exact same shape as the Judicator shield, and it gives you HP regen as well. So.
Yeah. It's also like pretty much the exact same shape as the wooden shield from Dark Souls 1, which was also hugely interpreted as a throwback to Demon Souls as well.
Yeah, because it was that wooden great shield.
Yeah. Patches used it.
Yeah.
And Patches used the Adjudicator shield in Demon Souls as well, so that's where the correlation comes in, that like Patches uses the shield. So that's why it was interpreted as a throwback to Demon Souls. And I like that.
Yeah.
So that's the Lightning Clutch Ring, which is
like all the rest,
fucking useless in PvP. By the way, the defense debuff that the Clutch Rings give you in PvP isn't as severe either.
Is it not?
No, because it's a percentage debuff, so it's like practically nothing. Because your flat defenses are always like way higher than your percentage defenses, so the rings do basically nothing. And you don't get as much damage either, because you'd have to use split damage, and split damage is bad because it goes through 2 flats and then 2 percentages, so you do like fucking no damage. Your weapon damage essentially gets cut. Both paths of your weapon damage can get cut by up to like fucking 30% after flat deductions, which is awful. So we're not going to fight this thing. You can kill it by hitting it in the face and stuff, but we're just going to run right past it. I'm giving it a wee bit of disrespect because fuck that dragon.
Yeah, so basically like you could like hit it or whatever, but that's not how you're meant to fight this thing. So basically,
I mean, we say meant as in there's a very easy like way to beat it, which we consider the right way to do it. There is the other way where you can like actually go mano a mano and like try and hit it in the head and stuff like that. You want to sprint through this door as well, by the way, because there's two of those little man serpent men that will drop down from above. So just try and get away before they plunge attack you. But this is us coming up to the end of the little marathon that we have to sprint to get to the ladder.
Yeah, and watch out for that cheeky bastard that tries to shiv you there as well.
I know. So this is the part where you could have a problem, because this guy will try and axe you even when you're climbing the ladder, but just run and go straight for the ladder. If you die, just repeat until you do this, because it's going to save you a fuck ton of hassle if you just keep suicide running this event.
Yeah, because you're not picking up any items.
You seen that guy's axe try and hit the top of the ladder there? I was like, oh, cheeky bastard. So there's twinkling over here that we're going to get before we drop down. There's a platform below this where you can plunge attack the dragon, but we're going to get this twinkling because it means we don't need to come back up here ever.
Yeah.
I better bring up the notepad that has the NG Plus items so I remember where they are.
Nothing here.
Nothing here. No, the NG Plus items aren't actually until the end of this area, basically.
Anyway, so running back, now you can actually kill this thing with a bare fist.
Yeah,
plunge
we
attack.
didn't know this at this point. I just went, fuck it, let's try it. And yeah, when the health bar ticked down to like 60% for a brief second, I was like, fuck, I'm going to do it again. And then it just disappeared. I was like, oh, thank God. I wonder if a certain NG Plus you can't do that anymore. I'd like to think at a certain point they'd go, nah, you can't beat it this way.
Aye, so someone hits up, right, so when you kill that thing, you'll be transported here. Now there's a bonfire, for whatever reason it teleports you here.
Yeah, and you get the dragon headstone, but we're going to go back to the Archdragon Peak bonfire, the first one that we got, because there's a bunch of items around where the dragon is that we want to pick up.
Yeah, so this way we can get the items without having to deal with the dragon.
Yeah, a few chunks, there's a ring of steel protection, there's some embers and stuff kicking around as well, so it's worth grabbing these things anyway. The ring of steel protection anyway is actually pretty good in PvE because of the actual defense bonuses apply to PvE. When it comes to PvP, it's just ridiculously scaled down. Don't use any buffs in PvE basically other than weapon buffs. Self buffs are practically fucking pointless outside of Green Blossom and like resistance stuff, but rings and spell buffs like Sacred Oath and such aren't very effective in PvP.
Yeah, because basically if you
it's
have
just hugely reduced effects.
Yeah, for whatever reason. Makes no sense.
Yeah, Sacred Oath gives you like basically 20 more damage and it makes you take like 5 less basically, so there's no real reason to use it. So over here's where the Ring of Steel Protection is. Again, useless in PvP, but actually pretty good in PvE. Some nice damage reduction there. So you could put that on top of the armor you're wearing right now and be basically a walking tank. You take very little damage anyway. Oh yeah, we did switch back to the night leggings because it turns out they are better than the sun leggings. Gary was just ridiculously wrong.
Yeah, apparently.
Right.
No, all the other parts are good. Anyway, so there's that item there.
As a set, it's definitely better than the night set overall because it has like 3 out of 4 pieces are just direct upgrades even though it's slightly heavier.
Yeah.
So taking out these man serpents, there's an item on our left side here. I think it's Twinkling or Titanite Scale.
I think it's Lightning Urns.
Is it?
I think I'd maybe better at remembering what items are than you.
Probably, because like, I just don't have a need for any materials in this game because you get so fucking many of them after certain points that...
So watch out for that jump attack because they will attack after the jump, so you want to not just dodge the jump, wait for the attack as well.
Fucking Yoda motherfuckers.
I know. Yeah, Lightning Urns fucking on the ball.
Oh, well done, well done. I tend to get my scales and Twinkling Titanite places mixed up a lot, I know that. So they look the fucking same, just one slightly brighter.
Yeah, that's true. So anyway, down here to the left
another
is
chunk,
and there's another Twinkling Titanite down the ladder as well.
Aye. That's literally the only thing that's down the ladder is the Twinkling Titanite.
Yeah, so just cleaning up some items.
Now the reason why we killed the dragon, by the way, is because if you're trying to grab all this stuff where the dragon's there, it'll actually breathe fire in quite a lot of this place. It seems to be able to hit everywhere. It will fly up and breathe fire along the bridge at the top that you run past as well. So that's why we take out the dragon and then do this as a second lap. So we're going to walk through this doorway and then roll back just so that these guys will drop down and they won't plunge attack us because that hurts.
Now, funnily enough, there's an item directly in front of us that in the preliminary we completely missed.
Yeah, 100%.
Because it just blends in with the background so well.
Oh yeah, that one at the back, you seen it there? It done that like this attack here, like the big long neck swing, but I hit the one in front and I hit its head at just the right time and it done like fucking 3/4 of its health in one hit. Must have been a counter. Like, you might be able to get counter damage if you hit them at the exact right frames of that attack.
Yeah.
So yeah, I almost walked past it as well, and Tony's like, there's an item there. I went,
where?
Where? Like, oh, shit. Right.
Not a great item.
No, I mean, no, but like, even if we did miss it, who would complain?
Well, someone would complain.
Someone would point it out. I don't think they complain because it's only dung pie.
Point is, it's 100% guide. We can't be missing out on anything.
Aye, I know. Technically it's 101% because we tell you where the New Game Plus stuff is, even though we're not in New Game Plus.
Sure. Anyway, so we're just killing these guys. I mean, it's not an issue. You're very, like, you're in a good spot. You're doing a lot of damage. They're really more of an annoyance, which is why, like, this is what I've noticed. You get sloppy with enemies that are just annoying.
Yeah, enemies that enemies that I know will deflect off my shield and don't really pose me any actual trouble. I tend to just get really, like, yeah, sloppy with how I play it. I'll just swing away because I'm like, it'll die soon.
Yeah.
Like, if I press this button enough times, it'll die. So I'll just keep pressing it until it's gone. So now I'm going to come around this way, just to show you guys the other way up here, and I realise that I've not got tails on, which I really should have had tails on for this section, just in case the dragon did, like, hit me with a fire blast or whatever. Yeah,
and now these big guys are, like, the only enemies that will give you a problem, and they're actually a massive pain in the ass. They do a lot of damage, but you stagger them in 4 hits, and then you get a bunch of counter hits in if you just keep swinging at them, so 4 R1s, and then they're stunned, and then you just keep swinging away. And they can drop chunks. Oh yeah, we should actually go over the drops for these guys.
Yeah, you should go over the drops, Tony. That would be a good thing to do.
So the Serpent Man, just the general guys, they can drop the Man Serpent Hatchet, Small Leather Shield, Large Titanite Shard, Titanite Chunk, Lightning Gems. So basically the only thing unique is the Man Serpent Hatchet. Then you've got the Large Man Serpents, which can only drop large shards, chunks, and Lightning Gems. So they don't even drop anything worthwhile. Now, see, after you got those 2 Titanite chunks, you could literally have you should have basically just used a Homeward Bone to the last bonfire rested that. Don't know what the fuck you're doing here. I don't know why you didn't just run through there.
Because if I ran through there, the fucking...
They wouldn't have... Whatever you're saying is just wrong.
Look, they would have spawned the, whatchamacallit, the Knight, the Drake Blood, and those guys would have chased me through, and I just couldn't be fucked with it, so I just ran back.
Honestly, you can just run through there straight to the bonfire. See if you just run straight through the bonfire. Anyway.
I don't want to risk it. But we're going to go back to that the bonfire that the warp is to after you beat the dragon, the mausoleum one, I think it is.
Yeah.
Dragonkin mausoleum.
That's the thing. So when through that doorway, if you just run straight ahead to the other doorway, that's where is, like, you'll see, like,
yeah. So dead ahead.
That's where he was, yeah, but he could have just ran straight through, but he didn't.
Alright, so this is going to be the first time you fight a Drake Blood Knight. These guys, you can backstab them as they spawn in, which is pretty handy.
Yeah, useful.
They're pretty simple to parry. They have pretty long wind-ups on their attacks. The attacks are pretty quick, which means you can just parry. You can basically reaction parry it. They do have poise though. They will, like, get their hyper armor pretty quickly, and I get a pretty nice roll parry there. Now,
the first one that dies will automatically always drop the Drake Blood sword.
Yeah, and after you've killed one, you can go back to where you got the Dragon Gesture, the one we're about to use here to get the Calamity Ring. You can go back to where you picked that up, and the Drake Blood armor will be there, and we're going to go do that now.
No, we do a bit later on. Now, he gets invaded, so I just cut that bit out. Right, so that's from the bonfire. What you should have done, actually, by the way, so from the bonfire, you should have actually ran out here and killed the summoner. That way,
up top. He won't keep spawning Drake Blood Knights, because when you kill one, he'll spawn another. So
yeah, so you should have came up here, killed this guy first.
Oh, these guys can drop the summoner staff. It's a pretty rare weapon. There's only like two of these enemies in the full game, I think, 2 or 3 in the full game.
That's the Mendicant staff.
Mendicant staff, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, you should have killed that thing first, then killed the Drake Blood Knight. Just
well, I mean,
quickness.
If you only want to get the armor, then you can kill that one Drake Blood downstairs and then go get the armor right now. But
sure.
We just killed the Drake Bloods to get them out of the way. And
now actually even drop
this is down in front of the first Drake Blood Knight, where you get the Calamity Ring. We're gonna go out here and go to the right to get some. Is it scales or is it twinklings, Tony?
Scales.
Scales.
I think.
Watch out for the little rock worm here. I couldn't kick it for some reason. The game just wasn't letting me kick. But if you kick, they will, like, roll backwards like that, so you can kick them off the edge pretty easily.
Yeah.
But I just fucked up, so I just booted it down the stairs and went, well, fuck you, and moved on. I don't need your shit.
So there's another item, and basically
that's the wooden platform right there is the top of the ladder where you climb to get along to plunge attack the dragon. So this is the Dragon Slayer Spear, which is Ornstein's weapon, if you remember. Down there is progress. There's a shortcut to get on the opposite side of this place. But there's an item on our left here. Now, there's 2 man serpents out here. I'm trying to see if I can get, like, a look-see through one of these windows to spot them. But I see them, like, round about here. The garden again.
They are... Fuck,
they're guarding, like, a scale or twinkling or something again. It's another upgrade material.
I mean, basically, I think you're being a little bit too conservative. You can't just run in and kill them anyway.
I was trying to like bait one of them out, but never mind. Yeah, it's a Titanite skill.
Yeah, so that's should be it for all the items.
And that's this elevator, by the way. It leads to the pointless shortcut at the very beginning of Archdragon Peak. The one we said is like literally useless and you never use it. That's where that elevator leads to. Like, I mean, the front.
You should be able to see at this point. Why would you ever need? Because you've got the fucking mausoleum bonfire literally right there.
So now we're going down here. This is now progress. There's a bit of a gauntlet here, so make sure you've got a good bit of Estus. There's a lot of these little man serpent men to deal with, and there's a big man serpent man as well.
Serpent man.
Well, there is the large one, and then there's like a bit of a run to get to the next bonfire as well. So there's a bit of a distance to go, and this is a pretty difficult part of the game by the rest of the game's standards anyway.
Yeah. So basically, this is one of those areas that we can really suggest. Just patience. You do not want to run through. There is a chance that so there's kind of like a slightly hidden man serpent guy, and you can aggro the big one and then have the little one chase you as well. And see when you're fighting two of the fuckers, oh my god, it's such a pain in the fucking cunt.
The little ones have the really quick weapons which stagger you into the big one hitting you, which is the big problem there. Like, the little one isn't the problem. The problem is that the little one will set you up for the big one to fucking slam dunk.
Yeah.
So I'm looking for more mana because I used my weapon art because I want to cast Tears again because this part is particularly difficult, so I'm going to try and get a backstab to get some mana back. That's why I put on the Aldrich ring. The Aldrich Sapphire, was it? Yeah, Sapphire's blue.
Such a strange thing to do, I think.
It's so I could get more mana to use Tears of Denial because I didn't think I had enough to cast Tears, so I got the backstab to get the mana so I could cast it before I deal with the big guy.
So this guy is the hidden one, so you want to bait him over to you before you fight the big one, and then
so if you're careful there, you can just do what I did, or you could use a bow.
Yeah.
So now I've got enough mana to cast Tears. That's why I used the Aldrich ring. Just try to think a wee bit ahead. Like, fuck, I've not got enough for Tears, and I need to deal with the dragon that's coming up in the big man serpent. So I just want to be safe because I don't want to die and then have to do this fucking gauntlet again.
Sure, it's just the condom mentality.
The condom mentality. Well, better safe than sorry.
Well, better than have it and not need it, and need it not have it.
Why is that a negative thing?
No, I'm just saying that it's not.
Alright, okay. I thought that was an argument against what I did.
Nah. So there you see you've done the jump thing, but then you also hit the head, but it killed it, so then did the animation. Anyway, so coming out here, you want to go up the ladders to the right here, because that will lead to the Thunderstone plate ring.
Yep. And this is the big guy we're talking about, and you'll aggro the man serpent that's behind you, and he'll like come up behind you and stagger you, and then the big guy will fuck you up with the axe, because he has that attack, and it does a lot of damage. But now you can take him on a 1v1 and he can be relatively easy if you just if you just get used to the attack timings anyway.
Yeah, so I mean you can see how much of a pain in the cunt that would be if you just ran through and tried to kill him.
Yeah. So moving up here you get the Thunderstone plate ring, and then we're going to go get, I think the next enemy we're going to come up against is a crystal lizard.
Yeah, I think it is. So you can just drop down here onto the rafters, it's no big deal.
And this is also like a really bad place to fight the big guy, which ends up being like your only option when the little guy's on top of you as well, as either to go back the way you came or to advance over here, and it becomes problematic. So this crystal is, and then there's Titanite scales in there as well, which is a pretty nice grab.
Yeah, I mean there's a lot of...
That's like 4, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean there's like a lot of big upgrade materials in this area.
So I have a little trouble getting this down, but basically if you sprint and then put your shield up and then stop moving and don't touch the left stick at all, it will hold a charge basically, and if you click L3 it will jump, or if you press R2 it will do a jump attack from the blocking position. But it was like being a real dick with me for some reason. I moved there, that's why it didn't work, but I just go fuck it and do it the normal way. Like that, but I fucked it up anyway.
This is super unnecessary to do what he was doing, by the way.
But I do that because you can get that item safely without having to deal with the dragon that's around this corner. Yeah. You can get that item from the other side by running up these stairs in front and taking an immediate left.
Okay, so this dragon, right, that's got to drop down, right, so basically just run past this area. You don't need to do any of this, right?
Yeah, you don't.
Run past it now, but when we come back here later at the end of the video, when you fight the dragon, we'll show you how to fight the dragon, right? You could fight it now and get what it drops, sure. And what it does drop is 6 chunks, 3 scales, 3 twinkling titanites, and 36,000 souls. So, you know, you don't need to, and the guide does not require you to do that whatsoever.
At this point, you literally don't need to do it in any way.
Which is why we're putting on at the end as like an extra thing. But it is there as a thing that you can do. Now this guy is being summoned via one of the summoners for whatever reason.
I backstabbed him to get some cheap damage in. Now we're going to kill the summoner so that we don't get peppered while we're fighting him. Now, this guy is essentially armorless Prince Ricard, it seems.
Yeah. Oh, he's one of the special guys. He's
Yeah.
like, hold on.
He's one of the summon guys. When you kill him, he drops Ricard's rapier. Now, the summoner can also summon Havel while Havel is alive. I know that doesn't make a lot of sense.
Yeah, it's very rare, but the summoner can summon a Havel.
Yeah, but once you kill the Havel that's upstairs, up the ladder above us, then the summoner will no longer summon Havel.
Yeah.
But that guy will always drop Ricard's rapier the first time you kill him. And now moving along here is the bonfire. Now that bell, you can pull that and you can activate the Nameless King boss fight. You can go ahead and do the Nameless King, but we're going to do some other stuff beforehand. We're going to go up right now and kill Havel and get Great Magic Barrier, right? Is that stage 1?
Yeah.
So you could pull this lever and that will basically create a big giant fog plane that you can walk across, but we've got other things to do. We're going to do that part of Hawkwood's quest and we're going to go deal with Havel.
At this point though, we're going to get the Drake Blood armor, just to get it out of the way before we forgot. I just do it now. So
yeah, so we're gonna go to Osiris's bonfire and then just run straight there.
So remember, if you killed one Drake Blood Knight that was summoned, you can come here.
The armor will be here.
Yeah.
Which is a good thing. I noticed this because I was looking at the tags for the Consumed King's Garden, because we didn't get this in the preliminary. We completely forgot about it.
Yeah.
I was looking for tags for the Consumed King's Garden, so I was on the wiki page looking for the item list that was there, and the Drake Blood set was there, and I was like, huh.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So there you go, Drake Blood set. I don't think it's as good as it was in Dark Souls 2. It's definitely still as fashionable as it was in Dark Souls 2 though.
Oh, for sure.
And it is very fashionable. The fashion.
So we're back here, right? So now what we're going to do is go do the Havel thing, and then we're going to do Hawkwood's quest. Now there's a really easy way to do him, so you'll be thankful for the tip
From
that
behind.
we're going to show you. Yeah.
But,
So coming up this way, just because it doesn't really even skip anything, but I actually just showed you that you can come this way. That was all it was.
And now this little bastard just won't let me kick him. Like, what is this chain attack? Like, worse than the rats?
What is that?
It's the rat little shoulder barge thing that's just been a dick. I'm trying to like just get it to move so I can punt it.
And then we're just like, fuck that. It just was not working for us.
It's either they go off the edge or I kick them down the stairs, and then I feel like that's enough of a victory to move on, you know?
I mean, ideally all you had to do was, at that point...
walk around and kick it, but it hit me with a shoulder tackle first. He was ready for me.
Aye, he was waiting.
Aye.
Right, so now we're going to fight Havel. And
I do say that it's probably a good idea to put on the Hornet Ring just to do a little bit more damage, because he is pretty easy to backstab.
Ish.
You can backstab him if he does like a swing combo. You can backstab him.
Remember,
I'm not very
also
good at fighting Havel on this because I don't play Dark Souls 3 enough to like be good at Havel all the time.
He has insane tracking as well, like way more tracking than a normal NPC.
And I'm also unembedded because I died when the Invader came in because bad things happened.
Yeah.
The Invader had a Zweihander, so he just out-traded me basically. I fell for his dirty tactics.
Plus you're back in a corner. Anyway,
I'm not ashamed to admit that I lost.
Fighting Havel and basically just backstab like any NPC. This takes forever because he has so much fucking defense and armor.
Yeah, even with Hornet Ring, we're only doing 200 fucking damage at best within a store of backstab. A guard break, by the way, will do more damage than a backstab because it has 3 ticks of damage than the backstab's 2 ticks. Speeding up this fight with Havel because it takes a long time. We're just going to backstab chain him over and over. Well, not backstab chain him. We're just going to fish for the backstab over and over until he's dead because he'll just hyper armor through every attack you can throw at him.
You can see if you can time it right. You can actually get like a good combo in.
Yeah, you can guard break him as well. After he has like a big attack combo, if he pulls his shield up, don't be scared to swing at him because you'll be able to break his guard and then you can get the riposte. And that'll do a lot more. That'll do like probably like 270.
Yeah.
Which is a lot considering your backstab is only going to be hitting like somewhere between 180 and 210.
So there you got Dragon Tooth and Havel's shield, then a Titanite slab as well, so it's all good. Now we're also going to get Great Magic Barrier by jumping off here. Yeah. It's not immediately obvious. This is something that you could actually miss. You'd think that this is something that you could fall off to your death, but I mean you could fall off to your death, sure, but this is actually, you can get Great Magic Barrier, so that's pretty cool. Yeah,
this takes us around to where the dragon is. There's actually a drop down point from just off the edge of this cliff, by the way. There's a little platform you can land on where you can like easily pepper the dragon with bow shots if you aim for the head or like the stomach.
No, the dragon will be here. It won't be
no, it won't be here right now, no, but you can go down there on that ledge and then quick reload and the dragon will respawn above you and then the dragon can come down.
Oh.
And then you can snipe the dragon with the bow, and the only attack that will do damage to you is its stomp because it has an AoE, and that's the only attack that will do damage to you. That's just one of the methods you can do But just fighting the dragon 1v1 is fucking easy anyway. It's practically like there's just no reason not to.
Apparently fighting that guy wasn't easy 1v1.
Yeah. So yeah, I summoned Hawkwood, whose summon sign will be at the bottom of the stairs.
Yeah. Now he'll actually be fairly useful for helping you defeat a bunch of these enemies. There's so many enemies here.
Now, this part isn't required for Hawkwood's quest line.
No.
You can very easily just run to the top of that slope and quit the game and reload, and it'll reset all the enemy positions, and then you can use the gesture at the top and get the twinkling stone, and that will advance Hawkwood's plot anyway. While Hawkwood's here, I don't think you can quit reload.
Right, I think you can.
I don't think you can, because typically you can't quit reload with a summoner. But I know we could do it in that one instance with the red invader. I know we could do it in that one instance with the red, but I don't think you can do it with a white. I don't think you can do it with a white NPC.
Regardless of this, what you can do though is, weirdly, you can summon Hawkwood, but you can't take Hawkwood to the boss. So I'm just thinking, like, how the fuck are you actually naturally supposed to get like, is there like a point where he goes away himself, or does he just die, or you have to black sign him out?
No, he goes after you do the dragon gesture. He leaves.
Oh, okay.
He leaves at the end of this. So like, there's a bunch of enemies. There's like 2 more big guys in that room just up ahead, and there's Dragon Chaser Ashes. Is it to the left? Or is it Dream Chaser? It's Dragon Chaser, right?
It's very likely that Hawkwood could actually die here, but
it is incredibly likely that Hawkwood does die here.
Yeah, for us anyway. Yeah. Now, something we do want to say is, right, you literally can, like we said, just fucking run past all these enemies. You don't need to fight them, and when you get to the top of the hill, quickly quit out the game, and then when you reload back in, it'll reset. We say everything. Quickly,
you've got a good 15 seconds probably. If you can make it through the room with all of them in it relatively quickly and safely, if you can roll through that room without getting hit and just keep sprinting, then you can quit reload and you'll have a good 10 to 15 seconds to pull that off, so you should definitely be able to do it.
And then you don't need to fight a single one of these fucking enemies.
Yeah. If you've never used quick reload, then we would say it's something you should try and get used to doing quickly, because it does come in handy in certain areas, like the run up to the Twin Princes, like this section, and like a bunch of areas in Dark Souls 1 as well. It doesn't, however, work in Dark Souls 2.
Oh, does it not?
No, it doesn't work in Dark Souls 2. I can't remember if it works in Bloodborne. I think it does.
I feel like it would.
I feel like it would, because Bloodborne runs on a very similar engine to Dark Souls 1 and Dark Souls 3, so I feel like it probably would, yeah. But yeah, Hawkwood's toast.
But luckily enough, he died just at the last enemy. So.
Yeah. Through here on your left, there's a little elevated platform right there. That is where Havel's +1 will be.
Yeah.
And New Game Plus, Havel's Ring +1. Should be there. Bottom of this slope, yeah. So it should be in there. Now we're going to use the dragon gesture again, and that's going to get us one of the twinkling dragonstone pieces. As you can see, the big frozen dragon right in front of us, like frozen into the mountain.
Yeah.
So that's the twinkling dragon torso stone. To get the headstone, you have to defeat Hawkwood, which there's a really fucking easy way to do
which
that.
We're going to do
hilarious, right, you turn them into a fucking pincushion.
So we are going to
upgrade our bow. Because we've got a fuck ton of chunks.
Actually, you probably should upgrade your bow at this point. It'll make the next part a little bit easier. But we basically just use the home bow and come back to Firelink Shrine.
So because we've given Grey Rat's ashes to the Handmaiden, we can only buy arrows from the Handmaiden. But give her the ashes that we just got as well. Now we're going to buy lightning resin, and we're going to buy some fire resin, because the Nameless King and the King of the Storms. The King of the Storms is probably weak to lightning, and the Nameless King is definitely weak to fire and dark. At least he's the least resistant to fire and dark. So, like, speedrunners use dark, but the wiki says fire, and the guidebook says fire, and the other wiki also says fire. Yeah. So we can assume that it's fire.
Definitely fire, dark though. So right, we're in the Farron Keep just now. So now that we've fought and defeated Havel, you come here and you can get Havel's armor in this area. It's
literally useless, by the way. Literally pointless, because there's no point in wearing heavy armor in this game.
We'll make a video on why this is so bad, by the way.
So we're just going to mow through the darkness. We want to come this way specifically, because if you stand here, Hawkwood cannot leave the room, and you can just pincushion him basically. Yeah. He takes 15 or 16 poison arrows to like actually get the poison built up.
Yeah, he's stupidly.
You could toxic mist and then keep him in the mist by like hitting him with arrows to reset his aggro constantly.
That's true.
And you would probably kill him a lot quicker.
The storyteller's staff would work particularly well here.
The pestilent mercury thing.
Yeah,
that'd be really good.
So Hawkwood has a lot of Estus. Maybe he has more than 3. No, he definitely has more than 3. I think. Regardless, he has a lot of health, so when he does heal, he gets a lot of it back.
When you get him down to half health, hit him with a Hunter's Charm.
So yeah, this is one enemy that you definitely
and
want
then
to
just
Charm.
keep them Hunter's Charmed. They last 45 to... I think it's 45 seconds, right? Hold on. I'll look it up right now. But yeah, continue talking about Hawkwood while I do it.
They last long enough that, you know, this is still an effective strategy of doing it. Just, you know, hit them a few times and just make sure you Hunter's Charm, like, as soon as you think it's going to go off. But basically, this is just so hilarious, because this guy's actually quite a difficult NPC fight. He has a lot of health, as you can see. But not only that, like, he beat Steven, like, 2 or 3 times in the preliminary. Maybe even more than that. So,
yeah.
You can actually give...
Yeah, he one-shot reposted me 3 times or something. 2 or 3 times he one-shot reposted me. Like,
something
immediately.
ridiculous.
Yeah. So, it says on the wiki the Hunter's Charm lasts 25 seconds. I'm skeptical of that because I think it might last longer in PvE than it does in PvP. In PvP, the 25 seconds seems accurate, but I think this might last more than 25 seconds. I hit him with a second one anyway, but the wiki says 25 seconds, so we'll just go with that.
Aye.
We'll be safe. We'll take the information that's already there.
But
so this is pretty much it. There's practically no need to poison him. We got a first person mode so we can get headshots, but he dodges a wee bit, doesn't he?
Aye, it's tricksy.
So we're going to headshot him and reset his aggro, and I mean, you can go in and fight him 1v1, but
why would you?
Yeah, it's pretty difficult 1v1, by the way. He keeps the pressure on you. You can parry him, but it's like the game just doesn't let me parry him with a medium shield. I've parried him with a Cestus like pretty frequently though, so I don't know. Maybe I'm just shit at mid shield parries.
I think I just shit in general.
You want to fight about it? Anyway, what's next?
Now it's pretty much just onto the boss as far as I'm aware. Right, so now we're back at Firelight Shrine. We're in Firelight Shrine for a long time because we were upgrading some gear. Right, you want a shield that you want to upgrade a shield so it's got a bit more stability.
Yeah, so we upgrade the lightning defense shield, right?
Yeah, so the lightning defense crest shield, which I'm pretty sure, yeah, that's the one that has 80 something. So we upgraded that. It's got a little bit more stability. So be able to block attacks a little bit, you know, easier. Yeah,
we'll take less damage from the Nameless King. We're not worried about the first half, the King of the Storms, because it's relatively easy to avoid a lot of the actual dragons. I'm going to call it a dragon. I know it's not a dragon, but I'm just going to call it that for ease of like reference. It's easy to avoid a lot of the fire attacks from the dragon. In fact, one of them is your best window for damage.
Yeah.
So we're not worried about the fire damage.
So we upgraded health there, because we're just like, right, we've got some souls to upgrade, might as well put in health, because this is a tough boss.
Yeah. Now we're stacking for lightning defense while being under 70%.
Yeah. As well as like physical, so whatever has like high physical and lightning defense.
The winged knight chest is one of the best chest pieces for it, and that has quite a lot of physical as well, so that's one of the probably the most important parts of this set that we're using, is definitely that.
There's some other sets that have good lightning defense, like the Black Iron set from what I remember does, the Katarina set has pretty good lightning defense. The Aegon set, one of the pieces has really high lightning defense, so you can go look at the Handmaid and just buy some armor if you want and just mess about with the values. There's also Armor Optimizer, which I'll link in the description, which will help you be able to decipher what has the highest lightning defense out of all the armor sets that you've got.
Yeah.
Right, so now we're going to talk about a lot of different strategies for the Nameless King while we fight him.
First off, your perspective is different, so you need to get a lot closer than you think you need to.
Yeah.
The camera is zoomed out a lot in this fight, a lot more than it looks anyway, so your depth perception is going to be all off, and you just have to get used to that. At least for stage 1. Stage 2, it sort of resets back to normal, but stage 1 it's heavily zoomed out. You only want to hit this thing in the face. It has a bunch of attacks that you can get some easy attacks in. This one is pretty easy, so I like to just block that because we don't take a lot of lightning damage because of the shield, and you can get some free hits in its face. This attack is the one you want to get. You want to run in and get beside its neck.
Yeah.
That way you can swing in. I fucked it up there.
Yeah, you should be running in at like a wider arc, but you should see obviously how we should be running in. This footage isn't like the best ever footage, but at the very least it shows you how like an average player would take this on, so it might be more helpful that way.
I've only fought Nameless King like 5 times.
Right, so as you saw, like I think that's a pretty cool tactic actually, just blocking that hit so you can
get
get
2 free hits into its face.
Yeah. However, if you are trying to dodge the Nameless King's attacks, not the dragons, you want to actually be locked onto the Nameless King. It will help you dodge the attacks a lot better.
Oh yeah, run and don't stop running until you're colliding with the dragon. Don't try and judge your distance by eye because it's all fucked now. And this is how you want to deal with that fire attack, is just get him beside its head, and that's it. That's all you need to do. It has this attack where it will go up in the air and do an AoE, just run away from it. If it flies, just keep running and Nameless King will cast a lightning bolt and then you can dodge a slam down. So we're putting fire resin on because that's his weakness. and I've got Tears of the Nylon, which actually wins the fight.
Yeah. Okay, so, right. This guy isn't as easier than he seems. He's difficult because he does a fuck ton of damage when he actually hits you.
Yeah, and all his attack timings are set for like 2.5 rolls worth of distance, so he catches you at the end of your rolls and stuff.
Like that.
Yeah, his attacks are very slow, and slow active attacks are what I find tougher to dodge, because it's more about dodging the attack at a specific part instead of dodging when you see the attack coming.
Yeah. However, right, the main strategy for killing this guy is just be patient, right? So, you do not want to be greedy at all. Now, especially with a longsword, everyone can use a longsword, right? Now, you want to hit him no more than 1 or 2 hits. You get the hit in,
never
you
go
start
for
to roll
3.
away.
Never ever go for 3, because he'll hit you with like a quick backhand attack, or he'll start comboing you. And one of the most important things is trying not to panic roll. When you roll one of his attacks, in your head be like 1, 2, and then roll for some of them. Some of the attacks are a little bit longer. You want to go 1, 2, 3, obviously, but you want to leave about maybe a 2 roll delay. And once you've actually damaged them, like I did there, and knocked them down to that stance, you get a bunch of counter damage in. When he does this in charges, just swing through him and try and stagger him. Get the riposte in if you can, and you're going to take away a lot of his health. When he does that charge, just swing on him, because he's very vulnerable at that point.
Yeah.
And that lightning attack, by the way, if you pull your shield up just as it comes down, you won't take a lot of damage. It'll break your guard and it'll do a little bit of chip damage, but because your shield has very high lightning defense, it's not really an issue. It's just a lot of stamina damage, basically.
It's really strange given the advice of just learn to dodge his attacks, but that's actually the best, like literally the best advice, because see if you can get those dodge timings down. Yeah, now you can see here, you've seen there where it was like roll 1, 2, roll 1, 2. You just gotta wait for the delays. So I try to like get in there and stagger them, but I fuck it up, and then panic roll. And yeah, so it got slightly greedy. This is the thing, like when you get greedy with this boss, he punishes you so hard because he hits you and then like does so much damage.
Yeah,
you're forced.
What happened there was that he done the slam down. There was my Tears of the Nile popped, so I had to dodge that attack.
Yeah.
See when he done that slam down lightning attack?
Yeah.
My shield didn't block it because it landed behind me, so the shockwave staggered me. Then when I went to hit him, the second part of that went off where it sprays out the little lightning bolts. Yeah. They hit me in the back, and then he hit me. So the lightning bolts stopped me hitting him, and then he just comboed me.
You know what? We're going to put more Nameless King footage in at the end of this, I think.
Yeah, I think you should, because I think the preliminary footage is a longer fight, because I end up with like 2 Estus at the end of that, and it's fucking retarded. Oh yeah, the Dragon Slayer armor is coming up. In this area in New Game Plus 2, there is the Covetous Gold Ring Plus 2. It's just to the right of the Dragon Slayer armor, which is at the end of this little path, basically.
Shouldn't there be a Titanite slab in this area?
There was. You get the Titanite slab is right where you land.
Oh, okay.
So it's already picked up. There's a Dragon Slayer armor's right here, and the Covetous Gold Ring should be to the right of this.
It's to the right, 1 set of stairs back.
Oh, okay.
And that is almost it for the guide.
Almost it. There's one more thing to do, and that is the Soul of Cinder.
Yeah, just now, right, we're going to put on the how to fight the dragon. It's not even difficult how to fight it, it's just showing you that you can fight it and it's not even an issue. So, next we'll show you the dragon, then after this we'll put on some more Nameless King footage, I think.
Yeah, we can get more from the prelim, I'm sure.
So, you should know where we are at this point.
Yeah.
This is just before that bit with all
You just want to stand here. Like, if you stand here, the dragon is not an issue. You want to stay under its face. Only 2 of its attacks can hit you. Its neck swipe and its stomp. It has an attack where it flies up and does an AoE, and that's pretty much the only things you need to worry about. But you can get some good damage into the head. Try not to lock on. The camera is a piece of shit because the dragon's head collides with it, and for whatever reason the camera is a physical object in the game. So yeah, just endure the camera and swing away at its face, and you'll kill it relatively quickly and safely.
Yeah, the thing is that even when it does hit you, it doesn't even do much damage.
Yeah, so you've got plenty of time to heal anyway.
Now, you really should be using vertical attacks by two-handing your weapon. Like, I don't know why you weren't, but
I'm just not like an advocate of two-handing, to be honest. I like to have the shield there just in case. I don't know. Safety first. It's like wearing a helmet when you ride a bike. You don't need to, but you should. It's advised.
But I mean, actually, it doesn't even move. Right, so there's like a weird... Right, so potentially this thing could fly up on the thing behind you. There's like that thing there, that pillar column building. It can fly up on top of that and potentially walk backwards and fall off and die.
Yeah. So that's its AoE.
There is footage of that happening to people, but we tried to replicate that. Now, what you again,
we tried for like 10 fucking minutes and we could only get it up onto that thing once and it flew down immediately. So
using the storyteller staff again is something you could use in this thing. Can't be poisoned.
I don't think it can.
It's resistant to, but it's not immune to.
Alright,
so
nice.
You can
I think
poison
the Nameless King is immune to poison though, I'm pretty sure. I'm really sure I've seen that in the guidebook.
Yeah, poison. It's immune to poison toxic.
Yeah. But the dragon shouldn't be much of a problem. It's just one of those things that takes a bit of time, basically.
Yeah.
And trying to hit it, it is easier to hit it with two-handed stores.
A bigger weapon would also be more useful.
You'd have some pretty easy time with like a one-handed mace because of like the vertical move set anyway. So anything that has like a high hit arc is all you really need. So a two-handed ultra great sword would fucking annihilate the thing because it's like the great sword would annihilate it. Do you see that nice little roll up the geometry of the area there?
So I mean, it hit you with the stomp attack and done like fucking what, less than 10% of your health.
I know, I'm not even worried about it.
It does have a weird shockwave though, so I guess you need to be sort of...
It actually has a pretty big shockwave, so that's why I'm like staying under its head primarily and not like under its torso or under the bottom of its neck.
Yeah.
Because it'll do the stomp a lot more. But we're just trying to like cut the last of its giblets. We'll get through its hide eventually.
Yeah.
I thought I killed it there, but no, it's doing its fucking
I thought it went back. Like...
Yeah. Bastard that it is.
Oh, you killed it, right? Cool.
Yeah. So 6 chunks, 3 scales, 3 twinklings,
and 36,000 souls.
So worth it. If you get the coveted silver ring on, you'll get more.
Oh yeah. Right, so this is us. We're going to show you some more Nameless King footage, like we said. This is the preliminary footage where this is the time when he didn't die. So again, we're dealing with the King of the Storms, and
this is the time where I beat the Nameless King and I had 0 Estus and like 20% health.
So you can see it chucks lightning spears at you. That's easy enough, and he locked on there with that swipe attack that the Nameless King was actually doing. It was much easier to dodge because he was locked onto it as opposed to the head of the dragon.
So that's the dragon's AoE. You just want to roll back a bunch to get away from it.
Yeah, that's simple enough. It flies up, goes down, you roll back. Right.
So you lock on again to avoid that attack. You can get some free hits into the neck here as well if you roll under that. Honestly, the best attack that you want to wait for the opening is going to be where the dragon breathes fire, like in a horizontal sweeping motion.
Basically, I'm pretty sure
attack here.
Most speedrunners only go in for attacking here, by the way. You should generally pretty much only be doing that because it is the safest method. As well as that blocking attack that you saw in the first thing.
Yeah, I didn't have that technique in the preliminary.
Yeah, but I thought it was actually pretty cool. But generally just waiting for the fire breath attack is going to be your absolute best option. So
this is where locking on is a bit of a problem because it's such a big boss and it moves around a lot. It's just camera fuckery all day.
Yeah. Which is, again, another reason why waiting for the fire attack is what most speedrunners generally do. From what I remember anyway. Just because it is the safest option. They use Anri's Straight Sword, do ridiculous damage, and they kill in like one combo.
Yeah, Anri's Straight Sword does about 100 more damage than a Store is at this point for a Luck Hollow build.
But you can see it was easier to dodge that attack simply because he was locked on. I mean, it was quite far away as well, but it would be much easier to dodge because of that.
I mean, you say far away. Was I? The depth is fucked. I might have been right beside him for all we know.
But the biggest problem about this boss is actually just because, like you said, the King of the Storms, the dragon, is just a big fucking Estus sponge before the actual boss.
Yeah, it would be more. I think it'd be more acceptable if you didn't have to fight King of the Storms every time.
Now, for whatever reason, it was taking forever to actually go into the post animation for this fucking thing.
Yeah.
Which is why he's basically dead at this point, and only now do you get the post.
I think it's because I got quite a few hits into its neck instead of its head, and it probably does less poise damage is what I'm going to refer to it as. So that's how you take out a bird with a nice rolling attack.
Yeah. Again, if our techniques aren't doing it for you, you can obviously just watch what other people are attempting to do. So again, right, we are going with, don't be greedy when you're fighting this guy. You want to dodge, and then you want to hit, and then continue to dodge, because you don't want to like be caught in any of his attacks that is like hyper armor and through or whatever.
You always want to dodge that attack, by the way, because he always sends out like the little wave. The little wave will stagger you and set you up for the follow-up. So that's the dodge time in there. You want to wait for each attack like that.
Yeah, so when he's swung, you've got a little time to actually move to position yourself better for a dodge.
Yeah.
So which is actually kind of strange because you can actually like capitalize on his attacks because you can get ready to dodge the next attack.
The problem is that if you panic and instinct dodge, he'll do this shit and he'll capitalise on you fugging it up.
In this footage you'll see what it's like to actually like do this boss by the skin of your teeth and scrape by because you are fucking up a lot of dodges here.
I know it was. This guy's timings just don't mesh with me in any way.
Now,
that's why you don't want to be greedy, because he has a lot of like quick follow-ups, like that shit as well. I expected the fast one and he gives me the slow one. He's a tough boss to get all the timings of like down at the same time, because some things are instinct rolls, some things are like, right, I'm waiting to see the attack like really getting right next to me.
Now something that we should mention, if you're having a super hard time with this boss, and sadly we don't have footage of it, but there's plenty of footage on YouTube, you can respec with Rosaria to be able to use the Dragon Slayer's Great Shield.
The one that you can make from the Dragon Slayer Armor Soul.
Yeah, and that thing will mitigate like
all of his damage.
He'll be doing 2.5% damage.
Yeah, if you fully upgrade it as well, the stability on that thing, you'll be doing practically no stamina damage, and if you strong magic shield it, can you strong magic shield it?
You literally don't need to.
I know you don't need to, but if you could, you would take 0 stamina damage from blocking.
Oh, actually, if you great magic shield,
strong magic shield,
whatever it is, whatever the upgraded magic shield spell is, to any medium shield, despite what Steven says, it will give you 100 stability and you'll take 0 damage and be taking 0 stamina damage from this guy's attacks.
Does that mean that stability is a percentage reduction of the stamina damage that attacks do? Alright, so 100 stability is just a 100% stamina reduction?
Yeah.
Then, alright, cool. Stamina damage reduction. So. Yeah. Alright, nice. That makes more sense now. Now I know what stability actually means. When something says 50 stability, it means I take half stamina damage.
Right. So stability is actually a big thing.
Stability is just percentage based, which is good.
Anyway, so those two techniques, like basically the Dragon Slayer Great Shield will make this guy so fucking trivial.
Yeah. At least for NG anyway, I've heard that in NG Plus the shield is less effective because he just does way more stamina damage. That's probably when you want to use the magic shield to
So this is kind of Steven's getting at that Neo moment where he's realising that he can't be greedy when he's fighting this boss.
Yeah, because I've got how many Estus? 4 is that?
Yeah, 4. So he manages to do all this with 4 Estus. So that's
he's got like 3/4 of his fucking health left. I've got 4 Estus and Tears of the Nile, and I dream. I think he pops my tears once in this fight, and then I have to reapply it.
So, actually another issue with this boss is, see if you get in close to him to dodge, your chances of dodging are going to be a little bit easier because he kind of swings in one direction with a big arc.
I love that attack. It's so fucking like, watch me fly, bitches.
Yeah.
He's got sass, I like it. So that was what staggered me in the first clip. That's what staggered me when I was trying to attack him. I hate that attack so much.
So you've missed out on like a lot of
windows to hit him, yeah.
Yeah, because
that's why I said in the first. That's why I was saying in the first clip, when he's charging attacks, you want to get in there and do some heavy damage. Again, that's why I've not staggered him yet.
There's another reason for being in close to this guy. It does make it easier to dodge him.
Yeah.
But it also, because you're close, it means that you can capitalise on the timings that you can get free damage in at him. So when he's doing the buff, free damage. Do you know what I mean? Things like that.
Yeah.
And it also means that when he's finished his attack chains, you can get in the hits.
The most important thing though is not being greedy. You don't take more than 1 or 2 hits. You don't go for like really long combos. Right there, if I had swung a third time there, he would have definitely hit me with that attack.
100%.
Without a doubt, because I wouldn't have recovered quick enough to roll. So don't get super greedy. Now the good thing about that attack is that it comes out in the same pattern every time, so you'll eventually figure out like which section you can stand in from where the attack lands. But now you can see I'm down to 1 Estus, Tears in a Dream. And he's got fucking near enough half health left.
I know.
So it's time to get good or go home. So, and now it's time to get good.
As you can see, dodging into the attacks, but
not then because I fucked up the time.
But obviously you need to get, once you got the timing right.
I've got 2 Zeegbrow, but I've got a little bit more of a dream. I think this is like the second time I fought him. Like, you know what? Fuck it, I'm putting on Zeegbrow because he just annihilated me the first time, and I was like, I don't want to do this all night.
So I mean, you can reliably block his attacks, but he obviously does insane stamina damage. Again, missing out on all these times to get free damage.
I am. And I'm just taking hits for no reason. Like, I could have traded a good chunk of damage there for that hit.
Like, this is a great example. This is a great example of how not to fight the Nameless King, basically.
Yeah. And this is like the timing thing that you just... I'm missing my dodge timings quite a lot here.
So I mean, you can see that once you get the timings down, it makes it so much fucking easier.
I had my timings down at the start of the fight, and then he started using all the instinct roll moves, and I forgot all my fucking timings. He's playing mind games, Tony. He's on another plane, alright? It's mental warfare that he's playing, not physical. I got the nice backflip twice. Oh, no, wait, that second one was just get knocked the fuck down. It's 3 damage. Now I'm like, oh, I'll get 2 hits in. That's at least a little damage. Yeah, fuck you. But well, it wasn't worth it. I should have just kept swinging until I took the hit, because I'm obviously taking that hit every time because I just don't understand the timing of it. So, but yeah, it's not my best show. It's not my best performance.
No, it definitely isn't.
But I mean, it's about. I've got a divine blessing as well. Holy fuck! I'm
Fucking
going
really?
all those stuff.
I know.
Every bit of a dream, I'm getting like just as much scraps of a dream as I can get and gathering them into one toolkit to beat him. Oh fuck me, this guy's a pain in the ass. So I don't know how I dodged that. I'm just gonna get the limb and say I have no idea.
That's interesting. Didn't I stomp AoE there?
Yeah.
Fuck, even hit you with this. Jesus Christ.
This is when I'm applying Teals. My Teals applied though, which is good. So no, it didn't.
No, it didn't.
Fuck! I thought it did.
It took away the fucking...
I took the Divine Blessing so I could tank that attack, because I was like, it's going to hit me anyway, so I'll just Divine Blessing through it.
So now he has a dream.
Yeah. And now I'm like, what the fuck have I got a talisman out for? What can go wrong will go wrong. Then he hits me with this and I'm like, fuck, I need tears now at this point. I'm so like... Oh, this is what happens when you fuck it up.
See, you can get those odd roll attacks in, but we would... don't even suggest it, and you can only really do it with the
that and it
longsword.
still hit me, so... Oh, my tears did pop!
Fuck.
I don't know when I got tears in. Tears must have activated at some point, right?
Weird.
It must have been during the grab, it must not have been on for some reason. But it's on now, and I'm like, fuck it, right now I need to kill him. Because even if he hit me with that, it would have killed me. I still had tears, so I could still get the last hit in.
Yeah.
So I just went for it. But that's how to get absolutely slaughtered by the Nameless King and still win. All we need is extra Siegbrow and a Divine Blessing. And Tears.
And a dream.
And a dream.
But yeah, I mean, Tears of Denial is like good in every single context.
This is probably one of the only bosses that I would highly recommend Tears for, because he has such high combo damage, and if he hits you once, if you panic roll, he's probably going to hit you a few more times because you won't break that mindset easily.
Yeah.
So I definitely say Tears is really important for this guy.
But regardless, that's it for this part, and there is one more part left, and that is us doing the...
Solar Cinder and showing you every ending in the game.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll see you guys in the next episode.
Bye.